If you plan on building and running a homestead, you'll need some tools. Today, I'm going to show you how to use them. Let's go. Welcome to Becky's Homestead. Always read the instructions that come with the tool and follow their instructions. But besides that, always use safety equipment, especially earplugs, because like this saw is loud. And then of course, safety glasses, because if something like shoots in your eye, it could be a big problem. So always make sure you wear that stuff. Okay, today we're gonna start with the simplest one, and it's gonna be the tape measure. Every single tape measure on the back will tell you how long the tape measure itself is right there at the bottom of it. This one's 3 inches, and this one, if you read underneath there, it says 2 1/4. The reason it says that is, let's say I'm measuring from, the end of the table to the wall. So you're gonna put it to the end of the table and you're gonna pull it, and the way to get the most accurate measurement is just to put the back of it to the end of the wall. Then you can push the lock button down, and the number you see is 31 inches. Well, to that 31 inches, you have to add the 3 inches of the tape measure. So that would be a measurement of 34 inches. That just makes it easier. This little button right here is the lock button. So if you pull it out, it automatically sucks back in there. So if you don't want it to suck back in there, you gotta push the lock button down and then it stays out. The next thing I want to talk about is a circular saw. You have to be pretty strong to do one of these. Like, it's kind of heavy, so you can't be a total weakling and do this. You won't be able to. It has a safety guide right here that covers the blade. So as you cut the board, it moves it like that so it can finish through and do the cut. It also has a little window. I don't know if you can see the little window up here. That helps you follow the line you make on the piece of wood. So you just line it up and you can follow it. I noticed about circular saws is once you get it going, and there's a button here, you have to push that button in and pull the trigger. You can't just pull the trigger or it doesn't work. One thing I've noticed about circular saws though, once you feel you're strong enough to hold it and do it, you can't be iffy and hesitant. Like once you start making the cut, if you just go for it, just and go straight, it makes the cut way better and way easier. If you hesitate and slow down, it's just so much worse. So, always make sure you use your square, draw your line good, line it up with this little window here on the edge, get it going, and then just go for it and just cut. And you'll have a better cut. Because there's a running joke in my family, and it says, just because it's called a circular saw doesn't mean it can cut circles. And my next favorite one too is so handy, because if you just know how to use a couple of them, you can make so much stuff. It's just a drill. The thing at the end of the drill is called the drill bit, and you have to change that depending on what screws you use. So I'm going to show you how to do it. You have to put it in reverse, and there's a button right here by the trigger on the side. So if you push it to the right, that's reversed, in case you have to get the screw back out. And then if you push it back to the left, it's the right way to go. So to get the drill bit out, you push it to the reverse, which is to the left. Then you hold the end here. Now you gotta hold it tight, because if you're weak, it's gonna yank your arm. So hold it and pull the trigger slow, and then it opens the middle hole right there. And I'm gonna show you just by holding it and doing it. And then it just opens, that's opened all the way. Because sometimes you have a big drill bit, you need to drill a big hole, and then the end of it, the little shaft thing that goes in the hole, it needs to be bigger. So this thing adjusts to size. So then when you need to put it in there, you just push it back to the right way, forward, which is pushing the button to the left. And then I always push it until I close the hole. So I look as I'm going, and I get it close. Then I put it in there. So then you hold it like that, and then you hold this black part again. Just the black part is the part you hold still. And it tightens it, but again, careful, because it'll like twist your wrist a little bit. So there you go, you have it ready to go. This is a very handy tool because, you know, you can put up pictures of your new boyfriend and you can take down pictures of your old boyfriend, and it's very handy. Makes the job quick. These two are like, gotta love my home. I love tools. I know I'm a weird girl, but I do like tools. So these two are really good ones. Okay, next I'm gonna talk about a hammer and how the way to hold a hammer is. You can get a good swing on a hammer if you hold it at the end, and it has like a little lip going up right there, so you can like get your hand right in there, and you can swing and hit something really hard if you hold the hammer at the end. They make different size hammers for like a big strong man. They will make a hammer with a really long handle, and it'll be a heavy hammer, but you know, get the kind of hammer that fits you and your size and your strength. So this isn't a huge hammer, but I can hammer really good with this. And then don't hold it up here, you know, and try to hammer like that. That is not the way you do it. Try to hold it at the end, and you know, you gotta practice your aim to hit it. But if you're a good aim, you can hammer really good. I have to say though, now with the cordless drill and the really good screws they make, it is better if you can afford the screws and then you can have a drill and put things together with screws. You know, it is a better product in the end if you can do that. But you still need to know how to hammer just in case. And it's always good to wear your safety equipment, you know, your glasses, but just in case, because if you hit it and it goes in your eye, whoo, you could really hurt yourself. Okay, this is a nice big level, and you can see how in the middle, there's a little glass tube with green liquid, 2 black lines, and then there's a big bubble in there. And for things to be level, you want to get the bubble in between the 2 black lines. This table's very level, but if I lift it up a little bit, you'll see how the bubble moves and gets out of the line. So you can kind of tell which way you need it to go when you're building something. Then, if you're putting in a fence post or you're doing a door frame or something and you need to put it up against it this way, there's sideways glass cylinders with the green liquid and the 2 lines and the bubble in there. And so you would put this against a wall, and then you could see if it was tipping one way or the other, and you could level that up nice, get the bubble in between the 2 black lines, and then you're all set. All right, this orange thing is called a square, even though it's not a square, it's a triangle. But this thing makes you cut really good lines with a circular saw, and I'm gonna show you how to use it. You know, let's just say I wanted to cut 2 feet off this board, so I'm gonna measure down to 2 feet. So what you do is you make a V. Just the point is on the 24, so you do a line that way and a line that way. Then you're gonna get rid of your tape measure over here, and you use the square next. You hook the wide part over the edge of the board. That's what it's for. And then you slide it down and you get it lined up right to the point of that V and draw your line. Make sure you get a big fat line like that, you know, especially if you're a beginner. It makes it easier, so get a good line on there. Then when you're doing your circular saw, it's easier to line that line up in that little cutout window I told you about, and just go and cut it without hesitating. So this thing is very important to get a good straight line, draw a dark line, and then you'll be able to cut a really good cut with the circular saw. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Sign up for Becky's Homestead newsletter. Go to beckysHomestead.com and sign up on the right. You'll get articles, news, and specials from Becky every month. Unsubscribe anytime, no spam. If you like this video, click the like button. It really does help us a lot. And if you want to be notified every time we post a new video, click the subscribe button.
Are you going to do some shopping on Amazon? Start by going through our link to get there. You don't pay 1 penny more, but we get a small percentage. The Amazon link is on the top right of beckysHomestead.com. Thanks so much.